Hey people, yet another one, okay? It's sad to see the many ways that governments are trying to push their agenda and people still can't see it. People still can't fucking see it, okay? Let's read what this article says. Coronavirus can survive for a month on surfaces, including banknotes. Now that I've said the word banknotes, remember, cashless society, okay? Coronavirus can survive for a month on surfaces, including banknotes, mobile phone screens, okay, so it's just on the screens, right? It says here on the screens, not on the touch, no, not on the, if you've got one of those that's got the little buttons for your keys and whatever, obviously it doesn't stick to that. It's just on the screen, all right? The mobile phone screens stainless steel, according to new research. Researchers at CSIRO, Australia's National Science Agency, has found that COVID can survive for up to 28 days on surfaces. The research undertaken at the Australian Centre for Disease Preparedness, ACDP, in Geelong, Victoria, found the virus survived better at colder temperatures. So why aren't they letting people go the fuck out into the sun, and why are the beaches closed? But hey, let's continue, shall we? It also found that the virus survived longer on smooth surfaces such as glass, stainless steel, compared to surfaces like cotton. So everybody start wearing cotton and don't give them a reason to say, well, hey, you're wearing polyester, so therefore you're a virus carrier. It's fucking beyond a joke. This is getting to the point where it's beyond ridiculous. Recent studies have shown that the virus is able to remain infectious in airborne particles for greater than 3 hours. Over the course of a month, the virus was analysed and re-isolated to determine its survivability rate. Oh, God. And they give you a little graph here as to what it lasts on more and what it doesn't, and yada, yada, yada. Them and their little graphs, right? Further experiments were carried out at 30 and 40 degrees Celsius, with survival times decreasing as the temperature increased. So, in summertime, if people are getting out in the sun, why are the beaches closed? Why are the beaches closed? Why weren't people allowed to go outdoors, if that's the case? There's so much contradicting bullshit that it's beyond, it's way past, like I said, it's way past the what the fuck moment. It's way past, it's so ridiculous, a laughable moment. It's bypassed everything, okay? It is seriously bypassed everything. All the shit now has COVID. The money's covered in COVID. If the money is covered in COVID, people, let me just drop an idea to you. All of Victoria was closed, so all of Victoria's money was contaminated. So all that contaminated money got exchanged from business to business. It went to the banks, it went to wherever. Money moves around, okay? Money moves around. But in saying that, it should have spread everywhere, okay? I don't know if you've ever done it, but have you ever written anything on a banknote, okay, and waited to see if somewhere down the line it actually comes back to you? But why is it that plastic money, because it says further back in the article, plastic money, okay, carries the virus, but a plastic card doesn't. Corona seems to be a fucking really picky bitch. How many times do you touch? And I know I've said this before, but I'm going to go through it again. How many times do you touch your keys? How many times do you touch doorknobs in your house? How many times do you touch the handle on your vehicle? How many times do you touch the steering wheel? How many times do you touch your handbag, which has been all over the place? How many times have you touched your wallet? How many fucking times? There is a list 50 fucking miles long of things that you touch more than once in the day. If this was spreading like they're saying that it supposedly was spreading, we would all be sick. Not just some, but all would be sick. But they want a cashless society. And these are the ways that they do it to you. They come out and they tell you, well, and they can't just say to you, oh, it's spreading on the cash. They've got to add other things in there because majority of people will just read. It's kind of like just glanced over. They don't read word for word, okay? They'll just read the sentence and keep going. You know what I mean? They don't read word for word and think about what it is that they're fucking reading, all right? But just stop and think. Take note during the day, okay? I support people working. So in a supermarket or any other fucking store, I don't go through one of those automated thingies where you can do it yourself. I go to the checkout chick, all right? I go to the checkout chick. How do I pay? I don't pay by card. I pay by cash. Because I don't want a cashless society. Just because one person sticks their head in shit doesn't mean the rest of us have to. If that's how you want to go, if you want to pay by card, pay by card. That's your right. But if I want to pay by cash, that's my right. Because I can see what's happening here. The results published in the Virology Journal could be used to improve risk mitigation procedures to prevent the spread of disease. Which means the more they come out with this, right, it'll be used, okay, to say, well, sorry, but we can't use cash anymore. All cash is out. Why? It's spreading the disease. Spreading the disease, and there it goes. That's how easy they're going to make it for themselves to implement their little agenda. Dr. Debbie Eagles, Deputy Director of ACDP, has been working on testing a potential vaccine for the virus. Good. Dr. Debbie Eagles, you use it. I don't want your damn vaccine. She said that a need for good practices such as hand washing was reinforced now the virus can remain infectious. At 20 degrees Celsius, which is about room temperature, we found that the virus was extremely robust, surviving for 28 days on smooth surfaces, such as glass found on mobile phone screens and plastic banknotes. People, do not contaminate your own fucking house with disinfectants. Your immune system eventually won't know how to fight off infection, okay? For context, similar experiments for influenza A have found that it survived on surfaces for 17 days, which highlights just how resilient SARS-CoV-2 is. Dr. Eagles added that establishing how long this virus remains viable on surfaces is critical for developing risk mitigation strategies in high-contact areas. The revelation comes as several businesses have introduced cashless payment options to stem the spread of the virus. Let me read that again. The revelation comes as several businesses have introduced cashless payment options to stem the spread of the virus. That is one of their agendas, people, because with a card, they know where you go. They know where you shop. They know what you buy. They want to follow you. This is all about tracking, tracing, facial recognition, where you hang out, who you hang out with, what you're purchasing, where your money is going. Because eventually, they will start telling you what you can and cannot buy. So if you don't want that to happen, stop paying with a card and keep paying with cash. Refuse to pay with a card. They cannot not take your cash. But they're looking for ways now, see, where the health department will come out and say, oh no, cash is spreading it. Look how long coronavirus has been out there, or that they started talking about it, okay? Look how long. Surely in that time, every one of us that walks this earth should be sick from passing cash around. Every one of us. But this is just another push to get their agenda moving forward, okay, with a cashless society. And not only that, like I said, if this can't survive in the heat, why were beaches closed? Isn't that what, what's her name, Judy, was it Mikovits? Isn't that what she said? You know, that the heat, the beaches, she was talking about sand and beaches and stuff like that. Why? There's so much contradiction to this flu, because that's all it is. It's a flu. And start calling it the flu. It's nothing more than the flu. But now we've got, it's on the banknotes, because, hey, we want a cashless society. It's on your mobile phone screens. But it doesn't tell you, okay? It doesn't tell you, like I said, how many times do you touch your car keys? How many times do you touch the handle on your car? How many times do you touch doorknobs? And don't tell me that there's somebody standing next to every doorknob in every fucking building wiping down doorknobs and nothing else. What about the taps in your bathroom? What about the taps in public bathrooms? Is anybody standing there wiping those down? The governor of California, I think it was, somebody Newsom, I think his name is, put out on Twitter that you need to keep your mask on between bites. So when you're eating, oh my God. So when you're eating, all right, too bad if you forget that you've got the mask on and stab yourself in the face with a fucking fork, all right? This is how pathetic this is becoming. Stand up, people. Stop complying. If you look at something and you can see to yourself, you can see that shit ain't fucking right, don't just go along with the flow. It's not what you do. But anyway, here comes the cashless society, I guess. I don't know. What are they going to replace the mobile phones with? Are they going to get you chipped? You know, that thing that gets put in your arm so that you can log in there? Anyway.